Netgear Nighthawk M5 MR5200 promises pocket-sized 5G that can replace sketchy home internet and crush public Wi-Fi. Either we have finally reached mobile internet freedom, or this is another round of expensive confusion. On paper, you get Wi-Fi 6 up to 1.8 Gbps, up to 32 devices, a gigabit Ethernet port to feed your home router, and global 5G with your own nano SIM. Sounds criminally generous for a hotspot. But here's the thing, those big numbers hide some big caveats. What caught my attention was how it claims up to 7x faster than 4G and a reliable backup for your home network. I spent 3 weeks testing the MR5200 across downtown, suburban, and rural spots, and I've got the receipts. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 3 weeks of testing. Here's what the Nighthawk M5 is supposed to do. It's a 5G Wi-Fi 6 mobile router that delivers blazing mobile broadband, lets you connect up to 32 devices at once, and even plugs into your existing home router via gigabit Ethernet for a primary or backup connection. The marketing promises 7x faster than 4G speeds, Wi-Fi 6 up to 1.8 Gbps for 32 devices, unlocked 5G for AT&T and T-Mobile with a nano SIM safer than public Wi-Fi. Use it anywhere sounds impressive, right? Pretty bold claims, but here's where things get complicated. Reality check. They claim 7x faster than 4G. What you actually get is wildly variable speeds that depend entirely on your carrier's bands and your location. Here's why this router rides on sub-6 5G most of the time. In my downtown tests with strong mid-band on T-Mobile, I saw 420 Mbps down and 52 up, which is excellent. In suburbs, I ranged from 120 to 260 down, 20 to 40 up. In rural areas without mid-band, the M5 fell back to LTE at 40 to 70 down. That 7x promise only holds if your baseline 4G is slow and your 5G mid-band is strong. Otherwise, it's more like 2x to 3x and sometimes no change. They claim Wi-Fi 6 up to 1.8 Gbps for 32 devices. What you actually get is a fast internal Wi-Fi network whose speed doesn't matter if your cellular backhaul tops out at a few hundred megabits. Here's where it gets mathematically impossible. 1.8 Gbps is the combined theoretical Wi-Fi PHY rate, not your internet speed. Even in my best case, the 5G pipe was 0.42 Gbps. Yes, you can attach 20+ devices, but once 5 or 6 start streaming HD or doing video calls, the shared cellular link becomes the bottleneck and latency climbs. They claim you can plug it into your home router for a primary or backup connection. What you actually get is a solid backup solution with a plot twist, double NAT and thermal throttling if you do it poorly. Here's why. By default, the M5 runs its own NAT and DHCP, so if you feed that into another router, you stack NATs and break some services. The fix is enabling IP pass-through in the settings to give your main router a clean WAN. Also, if you want it as a stationary backup, remove the battery and run it on wall power to reduce heat and extend longevity. Under sustained 5G load with the battery installed, I observed the unit warming up and shaving 10 to 15% off peak speeds after 30 to 40 minutes. They claim unlocked 5G around the world. What you actually get is best results on AT&T and T-Mobile in the US, patchy results on Verizon, and plan headaches across the board. Here's why. Carriers whitelist device types and throttle hotspot data differently. Many consumer plans deprioritize or throttle hotspot after 50 to 100 GB. BYOD 5G hotspot plans exist, but activation can be hit or miss, and some carriers flip 5G off for non-carrier hotspots in certain markets. I had seamless activation with a T-Mobile data SIM. AT&T worked after a chat with support. Verizon, LTE worked, 5G coverage was inconsistent. They claim safer than public Wi-Fi. That's true, but let's be real. Your security now depends on your carrier link, your password hygiene, and firmware updates you actually apply. I did 2 firmware updates out of the box via the Netgear mobile app before the router stabilized and stopped dropping the 5 GHz band under load. Here's where things get interesting. In weak signal areas, the M5 has 2 TS9 antenna ports. I clipped on a 2x2 MIMO panel and saw a 20 to 35% speed bump and more consistent upload. Without antennas indoors at the edge of coverage, performance fell off a cliff. But wait, there's more. The 1.8 Gbps talk can mislead you into thinking this replaces fiber. It doesn't. It's a great portable or backup pipe when the RF gods smile on you. It's not a magic gigabit in a box. Detailed breakdown, speed and coverage. In a 3-city loop, my median speeds were 230 Mbps down, 31 up, 33 ms ping on T-Mobile, 155 22 38 ms on AT&T, and 72 13 44 ms on Verizon LTE. Indoors near a window, speeds were stable. One interior wall cut mid-band by 25 to 40%. The Mr. 5200's Qualcomm modem handled carrier aggregation well, but moving between bands could stall active calls for 2 to 4 seconds. Battery life: with 2 laptops on video calls and a phone streaming music, I averaged 7.5 to 8.5 hours. Casual browsing with a tablet and phone stretched to 10 to 11 hours. Heavy 5G uploads cut it to 5 to 6 hours. Pro tip: pop the battery out at home and run on the charger. It stays cooler and avoids long-term battery swelling. Build and ports. Solid build, 2.4-inch color display, responsive enough. 1 gigabit Ethernet port, USB-C for charging and tethering, and 2 TS9 antenna jacks. The Ethernet uplink fed my UniFi router at full cellular speed once I enabled IP pass-through. Without it, double NAT broke remote access to my NAS. The Wi-Fi 6 radio delivered 700 to 900 Mbps local LAN transfers, but again, the internet pipe limited real-world throughput. Compatibility and plans. Works best with AT&T and T-Mobile, not compatible with Sprint's legacy network. Verizon can be finicky and may lock you to LTE depending on market and plan. Review analysis: 4.2 star average, echoes my findings. Praise for speed and portability, complaints about heat, battery drain, and carrier activation hurdles. Here's what nobody tells you. Your data plan is the real boss. Hotspot-specific plans cost more and often cap or deprioritize quickly. Buy the router, sure, but budget for the plan. Verdict: buy with caution. If you need a reliable travel router or a home backup line and you live in a strong AT&T or T-Mobile 5G area, the Nighthawk M5 Mr. 5200 delivers fast, secure, flexible connectivity in a compact package. The pros: solid 5G performance where coverage exists, Wi-Fi 6 for many devices, Ethernet for router integration, external antenna support, and a fair street price around $269.97. The cons: marketing speeds you will almost never see, heat and battery trade-offs, carrier activation and data caps, and Verizon uncertainty. If you want better future-proofing and stronger mid-band support, consider the newer Nighthawk M6 variants, often pricier but with improved radios and thermals. Worth it if you value portability and backup more than raw gigabit fiber dreams. Stay savage out there. Thanks for hanging out with me on this deep dive. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Drop your carrier and city below, curious where you're getting the best results, and tell me if you want a head-to-head with the Nighthawk M6 and the Inseego X Pro next. New uploads every week. Keep your tech sharp and your wallets sharper.